Mining Network's coverage of PDAC is brought to you by Tudor Gold.
Hello, welcome back on with James Sykes, President, CEO and Director of Baselode Energy. James, good to be with you.
Always a pleasure, Peter. How are you?
Good, been a long time.
It has been, yeah.
How's things going over there?
No, they're good. We're happy with the baseload situation. You know, share price could obviously be a lot better, but the financial situation, projects, we're very excited about everything that we have going and everything we have planned for the future.
Yeah, obviously you're in the Athabasca. Why don't we remind people as to sort of what you've found so far and what you're up to?
Yeah. Baselode Energy, we're uranium exploration in the Athabasca Basin, looking for near-surface, open-pittable, high-grade uranium deposits. We have discovered such a deposit, we call it ACKIO. Has been our flagship. Mineralization starts as shallow as 25 meters beneath the surface. We're close to infrastructure, has a lot of things working for it in its favor. It's a very interesting deposit. And basically we're happy with the results that we've achieved with ACKIO thus, and we're looking to expand into other areas and trying to find mimics, trying to find other deposits that can benefit Baselode and our shareholders.
Okay, so the strategy isn't just to go ahead with ACKIO and de-risk that and take that down the permanent track, it's more discovery, more, okay.
It's kind of both. We're going to loosely work on ACKIO, just pick away at it, but we think that we would be better off, and our shareholders would be better off with a larger discovery, something that would have Cigar Lake or MacArthur River potential, and that's always been the focus for what we've been after. That's one of the original ideas was that we're looking for NextGen's Arrow deposit, but open pit style, not something that you have to go underground. And we'll continue to look for those, and we do believe that they exist. Okay,
and so how are you planning your exploration model for this year? What are the indicators that you're looking for, and how have you selected where the drill bit's going to be going?
Oh, that's actually a pretty tough question. We're still waiting on assays from the 2024 drill program, and those assays are now 6 months out from when we delivered them to the lab. And we still haven't got results back, and it's been over 6 months.
Oh, do you want to name and shame the lab? Or?
It's a very frustrating situation for us, because not only is it affecting our shareholders and ability to put news out, but it's also affecting our ability to provide better guidance internally and to our shareholders about what we plan to do. So, still waiting on the assays, but visually and with some of the results that we've received, we have 2 target areas that we drilled last year that have really demonstrated the potential for new discoveries. And we, again, with the assays that come back to just finalize a lot of those ideas that we have, we think those are the ones, those 2 target areas will be the ones that will lead to the next big Athabasca discovery.
When do you need to make a final decision so that for the drill campaign? Because I assume it's weather dependent up there, is it?
Yes. Yeah.
So when's sort of deadline day as to this is when we need to make the plan?
We still have time, and we have a loose plan in place that can be executed immediately. Yeah. But it's just a matter of right now we're tentatively looking at mid-May to get up to the Hook project and get camp operational, get everything opened up again, bring the drills in, and then hopefully by end of May, early June, we can start drilling again. But again, it's which target area do we go to, where exactly do we put the drills? That's the only thing that we're lacking right now.
Okay, but you can get the rest of the work done in terms of the camp and everything. Okay, so you've got until May to probably a little bit. Have the lab said to you that they're expecting to get these results back?
3 weeks ago, they said I'd have them 2 to 3 weeks' time.
Okay, so you're expecting them literally any day?
I've been expecting them for months.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So in theory, unless there's another delay for whatever reason, in theory there should be some results out close to the time that we probably publish this video, I'd imagine, within the next week.
I would hope so. Yeah. I would really hope so. But we need all those results. It's weird the way we've gotten some of the results back is they're out of sequence. Right. We don't have full drill holes on a lot of them. Sometimes we're getting results back from the very last drill holes that we've done and missing everything in the middle. So we've got a lot of hodgepodge results, and it's just a matter of the lab getting their act together and delivering what they should be doing.
Yeah, okay. So why don't we just talk a little bit about ACKIO and Hook and some of the projects that you have discovered. You mentioned, because like you said, there've been some really nice results that you've had in the past, quite exciting results. But it sounds like they're not good enough for you, that you want to find something with much, much larger scale. Is that fair to say?
We're happy with everything we've discovered, but yes, we want to find the next big thing. We want to find the next arrow. We want to find the next Cigar Lake. In the Athabasca, a lot of it is about scale. A lot of it is about, you need the right size of a mine to go into production. Yes, a lot of low-grade mines have gone into production that have been near surface, and that's where we think ACKIO really meets those criteria to become a mine. But we want something with 10-year mineability, 15-year mineability at like 10 million pounds, those 100 million pound deposits. That's where we think that investors would really get behind something like that, especially if you're looking at an open pit with 50 to 100 million pounds. Those are the big type of deposits. Those are the ones that get your Paladins looking at you, get your Camicos and Aranos looking at you. So that will be our focus.
What's the indication because aren't you you're in different types, there's lots of different types of host rock in the Athabasca. I think we've spoken about this before. You're different to a few of your neighbours, for example. The mineralization that your tenements are in, or where you have been poking around, do they have the potential to have these sort of large, big blowout structures? And have you seen any indication that you do have one or two of them on your tenements?
Absolutely. Actually, we think we have them on all of our projects. When we staked all of our projects, I think we took a unique approach that we looked at regional structures. We looked at these monster scale structures that would go for tens and 50 kilometers, things that would have broken the rock and allowed porosity to be created so that fluids could come in there.
Right.
All of our projects, we have drilled all of our projects, and we see that same potential. We found structures on catharsis that have carried uranium with them. And that's a very key part to this whole uranium exploration business. Is you can find fluids, yes. You can find structures, yes. But if you don't find the fluids that are carrying uranium, you don't have a good chance. You need to find those fertile fluids and those fertile structures. Catharsis has that. On two target areas that we drilled in a large 5-kilometer V shape, we drilled on either end of the V, and they're both anomalous. Both of those ends of the V have those uranium fertile structures. Okay. Now that we've completed an airborne survey, that post-drilling, we've identified a number of targets that we think could have the potential for where the right fluid system would have come in and just dropped everything out.
Okay.
Same thing with our Bear project. We think that what we've seen in the drill core from Bear has the indications that we could be very close to something, not necessarily where we drilled, but along strike, because it has a lot of the earmarks, the alterations, the chemistries are there. And then on the Hook project, with the two target areas outside of ACKIO, the target area to the north, 6 kilometers north of ACKIO, we call it Tab. It's very similar to Catharsis, that we found a hematite uranium fluid system that is hosted within a massive altered structure. And we've only defined it with one drill hole. So we need to put more into that area, because the geophysical anomalies are overlapping nicely. And now that we've seen the core, everything looks good there. The other target that we really like and that we have ranked as our number one target right now is what we call TT, and it's about 5 kilometers south of ACKIO. That one has, we think, all the right characteristics. It's a massive clay alteration system that looks at it's a hydrothermal clay alteration system. It's structurally controlled. The fluids are in there. We have partial results back from some of the chemistry that looks very exciting, but we'll provide an update when we get all the results back, that we think that system has had uranium, and it was where we drilled, but because that system is so large, the amount of fluids that have come through there have moved the uranium down the system. And so that is our current thinking of where we should go next, is just drill deeper down. But again, we need the rest of the results to really refine that idea.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you've got plenty of, like you said, you've got loads of good targets, but you need before you point the drill bit, just refine it a little bit with those results. How are you doing in terms of cash? I remember when we spoke a little while ago, you were pretty cashed up and drill ready, and you were doing lots of drilling. Is that still the case?
Yeah. Yeah, we probably haven't changed much in the cash structure as last time we talked.
Yeah.
Approximately 10 million in the bank, 5 million hard working capital, 5 million flow through that has to be spent this year. So it's a very healthy situation for us.
Yep.
Something that we can generate results, we can generate news, hopefully successful news, with no dilution to our current shareholder base. And I think that right there is a very winning strategy for any junior exploration company.
Okay, one of the themes that we've been talking about a lot this conference with some of the investors we've been interviewing is management team and sort of ownership and whatnot. What's your background? What's the team's background? How many of them have found uranium deposits in the past? How many of them have made money for shareholders in the past? What's the pedigree of the team around you and yourself?
Great team.
Yeah.
Fantastic team. We have so there's only 5 of us on the technical side of things. Myself, if people don't know who I am, I've been around the industry for quite a while now. I've been part of a number of successful companies and have helped generate a lot of shareholder return. I've got over 500 million pounds of uranium discovery to my name, directly and indirectly. It's the biggest success of my career up until Baselode, I say, is being the chief geologist on NextGen's Arrow deposit for the discovery of Arrow. I've worked on Hathor's Rough Rider deposit, part of 2 discoveries there, part of the team that generated the discoveries that became Griffin and Arrow, or Griffin and Phoenix for Denison. So myself, I've got a lot of experience. My VP exploration, Cameron McKay, he started with PurePoint in the uranium space, and he was working on the Spitfire trend that's along strike of Arrow. So he's got experience with uranium mineralization along that trend as well, and other targets within other projects within the Athabasca Basin as well. But Cam's a very solid guy, very smart, well-versed geologist. He knows geology far better than I do. I just make stuff up for a living. He's an excellent guy. When we look at and then to round out our technical team, we have three very lovely ladies who we hired them directly out of university, basically, and we trained them up to log to our standards and to do the work in the way that both Cam and I saw fit, and they've been absolutely phenomenal. Great, absolutely wonderful ladies. On the admin side of things, or the board side of things, really we've got Charles Beaudry, another geologist. Guy's been around the world. He and I, when we first met to pitch the idea of Baselode, we had the same ideas, and so we've merged from day one. Just a lot of the same ideas. Great guy to work with. He's provided a lot of feedback, and he's been very, very supportive of what we've done. And then obviously our chairman, Stephen Stewart, he's the financial guy behind Baselode. Absolutely wonderful what he's done with Ore Group. Very successful number of companies within that portfolio, Baselode being one of them. And he's just another solid guy. Mind's always set on how to deliver more results for shareholders, whether it's through drilling, whether it's through mergers. But Stephen's got a great pedigree for this type of work in this industry.
Okay. All right, so good technical background within the team. You're in the right postcode. You're cashed up. You've got enough targets to go after. You need a little bit of refinement in terms of where those targets are going to be, but assays hopefully come in if the lab are telling the truth. Okay, well, it sounds like, look, obviously there is a risk with exploration, and everyone knows that, but it sounds like you've got a lot of the capabilities behind you to give it a really, really good shot. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see what this summer campaign looks like, eh?
That's it. Yeah. I'm hoping this summer campaign looks like 10 meters at 10%.
Yeah, mate, I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Absolutely, thank you.
But no, James, really good to catch up. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.